be fun to give you a little peek into some of the breeding work that we're doing here on the farm to show you the progress that we're making. So we have 4 large greenhouses that we are growing what I call nursery beds inside. So these are basically these big beds where we're planting selections really close together and selecting only the best ones out of a group of plants. So these are, I'm working on teasing apart the little flower girl mix into separate colors. So I want to find a very double flower form in blush pink. So you can see all the blooms in this bed are starting to head in that direction, but you can see I've still got some like that little peachy guy, that's not the right color. I have kind of a whiter cream one, that's not the right color. I'm really going for this beautiful kind of soft blush in this size. So I've got a bunch here that are correct, but then I've also got some that aren't. So what I'm gonna do is a process called reverse roguing, where I'm gonna basically dig up the ones that look correct, that I like, and I'm gonna transplant them into a smaller isolation greenhouse, and then I'm gonna grow them on in there. So this is Little Flower Girl Blush, and then this is Little Flower Girl Peach. So see how it's pretty blush? As soon as we get to this, boom, then we get into peach. So I'm definitely heading in the right direction. I'm super excited about the progress I'm making. I mean, I'm not, you can still see there's quite a range of colors in here, but I'm heading in the right direction. So this is too bright. That's kind of more of like an Oklahoma salmon. So that's not the color I want. Really what I'm going for is this or this. Like, can you even handle that? Those are the colors I want. So you just have to be super ruthless, and it takes time. Like what I've found is even with trying to fast track it, it still takes from discovery or crossing a variety all the way to being able to take something to market, to have it be like a stable, true variety that comes back year after year. It takes like 7 years. And if you're impatient, that is a long time. So that's a very long time for me, but I'm just staying with it. I'm using all of my energy for good, and I'm pouring it into this project. So Little Flower Girl Blush, Little Flower Girl Peach, and then I have some that are coming back that I'm like, yeah, this isn't quite right. So this is supposed to be Champagne Double, and I definitely have some Champagne Doubles. So that one looks correct. This one looks correct, but most of them are peach or blush. So I didn't quite nail it on this selection. There's some beauties in here. I think this would be a fantastic pastel mix, but it's not exactly what I was going for. Same with linen. I have a few in here that are the linen color that I want, but then there are a lot in here that are not the color that I wanted. So I would consider this needs a lot more work, where the peach and the blush are getting closer. And then let me show you this one over here. So this is one I'm calling Cotton Ball, and everybody here's giving me grief because my names are so dorky, but that's okay because I'm having fun with it. So really what I'm going for, my ultimate, is this kind of sort of linen color. Like I want it to almost look like a sepia tone photograph. That's the color that I'm after, but I'm still getting quite a few peaches. I mean, not bad, right? Like if you could buy that as a seed mix, would you freak out? I would freak out. So maybe I have to head in a different direction. Maybe this plant is telling me it wants to be something else. So some things are closer and heading in the right direction. Some things feel like they're running away from me, but the process is so fun and engaging, and I really feel like that the work we're doing is going to make a huge difference in the cut flower industry, especially with climate change and the planet heating up, and not wanting to fly flowers all the way from Africa or South America into other countries. Wouldn't it be great if we could grow things that are the right colors domestically? Like, it just would be really awesome. So that's what we're working on. Now these are some varieties that are a tick bigger. So you can see the flowers are not huge, but they're like medium size. And this is a group called Victorian Wedding. And what they all have in common is this very antique-y look. And so what I'm working on is different color selections within Victorian Wedding. And so you can see I've got like the pinks going on in here. A lot of these still have yet to bloom. Let's see, this is supposed to be coral orange. So when this happens, you're like, dang it, I still got a couple more years to go. But that's looking good, and that's looking like it has potential. So we'll have to see where it goes. And then here, I'm loving the color. Look at this one. I mean, if you could get that kind of smoky orange in that size of a flower, I mean, we'd be on to something. This one. So this is a mix called sherbet mix. And to me, that feels really good. So see if we had all those together. Wouldn't you love to grow that? I'd love to grow that. So I think that one is heading in the right direction. And then this one is called Dusty Rose, and this is a weirdo. So you can see we've got that weird, strange, smoky, dusty rose. We've also got, like, look at those two with the dark red eye. Love that. That orange is great, but I don't know. Is it gonna be more rosy or more orangey? So only time will tell. But every one of these beds in here is a different variety. So we have almost 100 unique zinnia varieties that we've bred here on the farm. So the varieties start their life inside these greenhouses in the nursery beds. Then I find the ones that I want to continue, and we're going to be transplanting those into these smaller greenhouses, or what we call an isolation greenhouse. So this is where they go to grow out the rest of their life and where they get pollinated. So what we do is we would plant the plants inside of here, lock the doors with screens so they're still breathable, and then we release flies in here to pollinate, and that's how we get more seed. So the first year you grow out just the ones you want and save seed, they don't come back true. A few of them are true. Then the next year, a little bit more come back, then a little bit more, and it takes a long time. I mean, it really can take up to 7 years. So it's a long process, and like, once you're committed, you're committed. But what's cool is eventually you get a variety stabilized like golden hour, and I can't show you a picture of it because I don't have any blooming, but golden hour is the first thing that I ever bred. Here she is, back in the flesh, growing away. Really excited to see how she's doing, but this variety I would consider stabilized. So we've got some varieties that are like very close to being able to go into the world, and other things that are a work in progress. But lots and lots of work happening here on the farm about breeding. So over on the blog, there is a breeding project update if you want to read about that and see some awesome photos from this last season of the flowers and what they look like, so you can kind of get a sense more of what we're working on. And then also I posted, it's from last year, but if you haven't read it, it's a dahlia breeding update. I get so many questions about, if you're not selling dahlia tubers, why are you still growing dahlias? Because I'm breeding dahlias, and someday I will offer those dahlias to the world, but I'm just not there yet. So right next to the greenhouses that are for breeding is the dahlia breeding patch. So this whole patch has, oh, how many was it? 200-ish different varieties of dahlias that are part of the breeding. I've been working on these for about 5 years, have some real gems in here. So at the bottom of the breeding update post is a place to sign up for the wait list. So if you're interested in getting kind of progress reports and updates on the breeding program, and if like when these are available sometime in the future, if you want first crack at them, if you put your email in there and sign up for it, you can get on the wait list. So breeding, it's happening. I'm so excited. Like I really, really love this, and you can see there's a lot of progress happening. So yeah.